ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. O Lord, please bless us from good health, physical and mental, so that we can do good, see good, and hear good. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, if you remember the earlier class, we were discussing in this fifth chapter regarding the Omkara. The Satyakama, Shaibhya, the son of Shibi, the Satyakama asked or questioned about the significance and the greatness of the Omkara, which is very quite interesting. And now if you see, the discussion on the Omkara can be seen or can be read in different parts of Vedas or Upanishads. We can see in the Mandukya Upanishad, we can see in the Kathopanishad, and also we can see in the Mundaka Upanishad, and there is a Omkara Upanishad itself, which is not major in nature, of course, which is not the major Upanishads. So this Omkara, that's greatness, importance, and which is the means and the goal, has been discussed in detail. Now this Omkara Upasana and Omkara Vichara are two different things. In the Mandukya Upanishad, they tell, or the Upanishad describes the Omkara Vichara. What is Omkara? What is Akara? What is Ukara? What is Makara? So the sound A, U, M, the combination of these three alphabets is Omkara. So each alphabet represents the state of consciousness and etc. By knowing and by meditating and by realizing, one can transcend three states of consciousness. So, for example, in the Mandukya Upanishad, they say by meditating or by knowing, by understanding or experiencing the Akara A, which represents the waking state. Then Ukara or U sound or alphabet U represents the dream state of consciousness. Then or M, Makara, M represents the Sushupti Avastha. And there is a fourth aspect which is not visible, perceptible to the five sense organs and mind, which is the silent part there, which represents Turiya Avastha. So by knowing and experiencing the Omkara, one can reach to the Turiya state, which is our goal or target of the Mandukya Upanishad. That is experiencing oneself. Now, interestingly, in the Prashna Upanishad, they are not speaking of Omkara Vichara. Instead, they are speaking of Omkara Upasana. Upasana is what? Meditation. So meditation on Omkara. By doing meditation on the Omkara, what do I get? What can one attain is being discussed here. So the first and second slokas were introductory in nature. From the third sloka onwards, actual teaching starts from the Pipila, the teacher. Now, these are very subtle and esoteric in nature. In Nyaya philosophy, they say there is a special perception which is called Yogaja Pratyaksha. The perception is only possible for yogis. Here, yogis means whose mind has transcended or whose mind has reached to the highest state. So, for such yogis, these great secrets of the nature of the world are revealed, it seems. So, these yogis or rishis, in their deep contemplation or meditation, they have found out. And out of grace, out of compassion towards the humanity or to his disciples, to their disciples, they have revealed these highest secrets. Now, in the third, fourth, and fifth mantra, taking one syllable or the complete Omkara, what one can attain? What are the results one can attain by trying to meditate on the Omkara completely or on partially? That is being discussed in the three mantras. So this we shall try to discuss in the today's class. And also Upanishad tells very clearly, from Omkara Vichara we can get Jivan Mukti. So Jivan Mukti means one is free while living in this mundane world, in this physical body. One who can experience the freedom, complete freedom or absolute freedom. That is what Jivan Mukti. Now, if you do Omkara Upasana, you can attain, or the aspirant can attain to the highest worlds, other worlds, or he can attain Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means once he passes away, he goes to Brahmaloka, or here it is used, the Rishi has used Surya Loka. So one goes to the highest world called Brahmaloka or Surya Loka. There he stays in the subtle body, and at the end of the creation or at some point of time, he or she or the subtle body attains Mukti, which he or she will never return to this life or this earth. So Krama Mukti is possible, or attaining higher worlds is possible by Omkara Upasana or meditation on the Omkara. Okay. Now, if you remember the earlier shloka, so the Pippilada had said, Omkara has got two aspects. One is Param Brahma and the other is Aparabrahma. Parabrahma is what the Ishvara, and Aparabrahma, if you remember the Upanishadic terms, it is Virat and Hiranyagarbha. Okay, once we go into detail, I will try to explain all these technical terms. स यदि एकमात्रम् अभिध्यायीत सह तेनैव संविदः तूर्णमेव जगत्याम् अभिसंपद्यते तं रुचः मनुष्यलोकम् उपनयन्ते स तत्र तपसा ब्रह्मचर्येण श्रद्धया संपन्नः महिमानम् अनुभवति. Okay, now Yadi means even though, Saha Ekamatram Abhidhyayita. Though Omkara has got three alphabets, A, U and Ma, or A, U and M, even though means even the aspirant meditates on one aspect, one syllable, like either A or U or M. So that is the meaning of Yadi. Even though if the aspirant meditates on one alphabet or one syllable of the Omkara, even though Saha, the aspirant, either he or she, the aspirant, Ekamatram Abhidhyayita, Ekamatram, one letter or one alphabet, one syllable, either Akara or Ukara or Makara, A or U or M, Abhidhyayita. Now, this Abhidhyayita is an important word. One who meditates. One who constantly meditates. Now, I am sitting in a cross-legged, or I am sitting in a Vajrasana, or maybe Padmasana, or Ardha Padmasana, or because I've got some leg pain or knee pain, so I'm sitting on the chair. And I'm trying to sit straight, and I'm closing my eyes, and I am trying to meditate. So we are having all postures, physical posture, no doubt. And I'm closing my eyes, no doubt. But my mind may be doing world tour. What are you doing? What were you doing if you ask? Someone calls and then you don't respond to the phone call, then afterwards, after some time, you may call them back. The person asks, "Oh, I called you. What happened to you?" You say, "Oh, I was meditating because I was trying to meditate." But I am trying to meditate or I'm meditating, we say, but it is actually dharana. We are actually trying to practice dharana, not even dhyana. What do I mean by that? Dharana means it is trying to control. For an example, I take a dog for walk. So I am holding it, no doubt, and I am going along with the dog. Suddenly it sees another dog or it sees something. Basically, the dog keeps going, which the dog it is not supposed to go in that particular direction, or it is not particular to touch something or whatever. Then the owner of the dog, what he does, so he or she tries to pull the dog. Hey, don't go here. Come, please come back. Either he or she may give instructions, or he or she may pull the chain so that the dog is not allowed to go to a particular place or to touch or to jump upon particular thing. So when it controls, when the owner of the dog is trying to control, the dog behaves for some time properly. And if it is not trained properly or if it is untamable, the dog keeps on going here and there. The owner is trying to hold the dog time and again. But if it is a tamed dog, then the dog behaves very beautifully or very in a disciplined manner. Same thing, our mind. If our mind is disciplined, if our mind is tamed, if our mind is under our control, then when we sit for meditation, when we try to concentrate on the object of meditation, it may be a god, it may be a flower or a wave or whatever may be the object of meditation, then in my mind there will be only single thought on the single object of meditation. When it is achieved, it is called meditation, dhyana. Till then, what happens? I am trying to meditate, for an example, on the Shiva. My mind goes to the thing which happened in my family today or to my working place. Today, I had a discussion with my colleague, happy or unhappy, good or bad. So it tries to go there, it tries to think about it. Or I have seen an object, I want to purchase an object. I was obsessed with that. I like it. My mind went to that what do you say? Mall, a shop. It is thinking about that object. Again, you pull back. It went to my family or a person, mother, father, husband, wife, children. Again, you pull back. This is what happens in our meditation. This is called dharana actually. Now here, abhidhyayita. Of course, from dharana slowly, by constant practice, dhyana happens. Now here, abhidhyayita means one who is meditating. So one who is meditating means one who is established in meditation. One whose mind is concentrated on the object of meditation. So there is a single thought of that object of meditation. That is what abhidhyayita says. So one who is meditating, Saha samveditaha. Again, this is also interesting, very important word. One who is enlightened. One who is enlightened means one whose mind is attached or is fully, completely absorbed in the object of meditation. One whose mind is fixed in that object of meditation. So for him, that object of meditation has become real. Now, for example, whoever has attended my earlier classes, in different type of meditation I'm discussing, and when I was discussing the Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, when I was discussing about Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, among that Savitarka, Nirvitarka, so many types of meditation we were discussing. There, if you remember, so once we start, for example, I am trying to meditate on the flower. So now I am imagining that rose flower is in front of me or the lotus flower is in front of me, and I am trying to fix my mind on the lotus flower. Initially, it is an imagination. Sometimes it may be a powerful imagination, sometimes it is not. How much ever I think at this given point of time, it is an imagination, it is not the reality for me. Now I keep on practicing, keep on practicing, keep on practicing. Then slowly, hundreds of thoughts getting reduced to few hundred thoughts, then maybe 100 thoughts, 80, 30, 50, 20, 10, 5, 2, 3, 1, and there's only one thought, which is the lotus thought, the thought which is pertaining to lotus flower. Then when it becomes deepened, then the lotus flower, which was an object of imagination, now it becomes real. That's what we mean. So here samveditaha means for him, that object of meditation has become real. He is experiencing that object of meditation. Now I may feel that I am meditating on Shiva. I am meditating on the form of Shiva. Or I am trying to imagine Sri Ramakrishna and I am trying to meditate. Now from today onwards, Gupta Navaratri has been started, which is very auspicious. So there are many aspirants who starts doing special practices from today 9 days. So he or she may be trying to meditate on Mother Durga. Okay, Durga, she has got so many hands and so many weapons. He's trying to imagine. Now, his meditation, when he gets concentrated, when he gets established, and when it progresses well, for him or her, the Mother Durga becomes living. He or she is able to talk with them. In Sri Ramakrishna, when he started with the meditation, when he got absorbed and when he get established, he was able to experience the Divine Mother Kali. He was able to talk with her. He was able to feed her. He was able to dine with her. So for him, the Mother Kali was real. It was not mere statue. If I and you go to Dakshineshwar today, for us, the mother statue, the Kali Mother statue is only statue for us. But for him, it was real. So that's what we mean here, samveditaha. For him, the object of meditation has become real. He or she, or the spiritual aspirant, he is experiencing that. Okay. So what is he experiencing? Tenaiva, by that alone, samveditaha turnameva. Means he is trying to meditate on the Omkara, he is chanting the Omkara, he is trying to meditate on the Omkara, and he is giving importance on the Akara only. Ekamatram abhidhyayita. Here Ekamatra is, which is that Ekamatra? Akara. U, Ma, A. He is meditating on that Omkara. He may be chanting Omkara, but he is trying to concentrate more. His importance is being given on the Akara aspect of the Omkara alone. Then what happens? It is not only his thinking, his imagining, for him it has become real. His mind has traveled to that level, is able to experience that Akara in the Sukshma Rupa. Now, the question may come for all of us. Okay, we all understand Swamiji, but he is meditating on the Akara and it has become real, means what does it mean? So here it is, for example, we can take the spiritual experience of, can be seen in Sri Ramakrishna. Who does puja, who knows a little about ritualistic worship, you will be knowing, as a part of ritualistic worship, we will be doing Anganyasa Karanyasa. Nyasa means actually preservation, or you can say, one is preservation, the other is enlightening things. Now, Anganyasa and Karanyasa. Kara means hands actually. Nyasa is, for example, Kham Gam Gham Nyam Angushtabhyam Namaha, Im Cham Cham Jam Jam Nam Im Tajibhyam Swaha, Tam Tam Dam Dham Nam Madhyamabhyam Vashata. Yem tam tam dham dham nam aimanamikabhyam hum. Om pam pam bam bam om kanishtakabhyam vaushat. Like this, these are the mantra. For example, Anganyasa Karanyasa mantra. Vidhi this is. Now when we are chanting this mantra, we only know the step. We have learned by our teachers, and we are chanting these alphabets by using respectable mudras. But when Sri Ramakrishna was chanting these mantras, and when he was chanting and when he was trying to feel it, and he was able to see these alphabets in the golden letters, golden alphabets in his different parts of the body. For example, one more is called Ram. Ram is the Bija mantra for Agni, for the fire principle. Now, we also utter the word Ram and we feel that there is a circle of the fire in and around us, so that no one is troubling us from puja, no spirit or ghost. While uttering the word ram, we'll put the circle, or we will draw the water circle. Now, for us, it is just a circle. Physically, we are drawing the circle using the water. But when Sri Ramakrishna uttering the word Ram, and when he used it, when he draw the circle, literally is to see the fire actually. So no one was able to come inside that circle. So this is what we mean. When we use just akara, we only know the sound actually. But when we go deeper, deeper, deeper in this meditation, when that akara becomes enlightened, or when our mind gets tuned with that spiritual form or spiritual part of this akara, we will get many things. We will understand many things. So this mantra shastra is very rational and very logical and whatnot. So this is what we mean. So one who is meditating on the akara, then what happens? The meditator and the object of meditation, there is no duality. It has become one. Tenaiva, by that alone, turnameva. Turnameva means very quickly, fast. Abhisampadhyate, he attains. So the aspirant who is doing Omkara Upasana, in that particularly Akara Upasana, or meditating on the Akara alphabet alone, he attains very quickly. Now, what does that spiritual attains? This is the second part of the mantra. He attains Apara Brahma. Apara Brahma means inferior Brahma. Here, inferior Brahma means Virat. What is Virat again? If you have studied Upanishads or attended Tattvabodha class, my Tattvabodha classes, you'll be knowing Virat is the cosmic grass body. The sum and total of grass bodies is called Virat. Now, each one of us, we have got individual grass bodies. Animals have, birds have, reptiles have, mammals have, isn't it? So the sum and total of all the grass bodies is called, put together, is called Virat. And that is what Apara Brahma here. So one, he attains Apara Brahma. And after his death, he will attain the human birth in this mundane, he will attain human birth. So he will attain Apara Brahma. He will reach the Virat, and after the death, again he will get the rebirth, not as an animal, not as a bird, not as a reptile, but he will be taking birth as a human being in the spiritually enriched family. Spiritually conducive family, that is also very, very important. Now, if you see example, Jadabharata, there is a story, I think in the Bhagavata, we get a story of Jadabharata. He was a spiritual aspirant. He was a spiritual aspirant, no doubt, but while at the fag end of his life, he was living in the forest. A deer was pregnant deer, and it gave a birth to the deer, and it died. And this spiritual aspirant, out of compassion, he felt for the deer. Then he thought, oh, if this baby deer is not taken care, then it will be eaten by any wild animal. Then what to do now? He thought, okay, let me take care of the deer. It is a good intention, no doubt. He brought the deer to his hermit, and he started feeding it. He started taking care of him. So, okay, he started taking care of the deer, no doubt, and morning and evening, other times he used to do meditation. Now, slowly, in his meditation, he started getting a doubt, he started getting a thought, what is happening to my deer? Whether deer is safe or what? Whether deer wants anything or what? So slowly, his concentration, his attention started moving towards, from the object of meditation towards the deer. And in due course of time, his mind was completely, totally absorbed or obsessed with the thought of deer. So day in and day out, he was go on thinking about the deer and its welfare and whatnot. He was go on taking care of the deer, no doubt. And he died. As a result, what happened? He took birth as a deer. So now this life we have got a human birth, no doubt. But there is no guarantee in our next birth I will be taking as human birth alone. It depends on our actions and results, karma phala. Now, who does this akara upasana? There is a conformity has been given by the scriptures that he will attain human birth alone. And not only that, He will take birth in the spiritually enriched family. Their parents are spiritual in nature. The family, the atmosphere is spiritually conducive. Means they are, so that is what beautifully told here. Because in sometimes I may be taken in a, I might have born in a particular family, their spiritual conducive atmosphere is not there. They are not interested in spiritual things. They are not interested in any higher things. They are interested only in the worldly matters. And they may force us to be also to be worldly in the our nature. Many times people say, oh, why should we go to ashram? Why should we read Upanishads and all? It is a waste of time. Instead of that, we can develop some skills and we can earn more money, and we can enjoy the life. So we may be tutored by our parents like that because they know that alone. So this is also very, very important. So Jagatyam Abhisampadyate. Abhisampadyate, he attains what? He attains Jagatyam. Jagatyam means this is the mundane world. He attains the mundane world means he comes back to this earth. As what? Not as a bird, not as an animal, not as a worm, not as an insect. Rather, Manushya Lokam. Manushya Lokam means he takes the human birth in this mundane world. Because people can be in the other worlds also, not as a human being. Like, for example, in the Pitraloka or in the Gandharva Loka, there are different worlds as we see in the our scriptures. So here Upanishad is telling by doing Akara Upasana, he attains human birth in this mundane world. Okay. Ruchaha. Now, when a person dies, he is taken care by, he is led by Ruk mantra, means the presiding deity of the Rig Veda. So when a person, such a spiritual aspirant dies means what? When he leaves this physical body, that subtle body is taken care by the presiding deity of the Rig Veda. So tam ruchaha. So such person is taken care by the Rig Devata. For example, when we are a bureaucrats, when we go to some place and when we get out from the airport, immediately the officers will be waiting. For example, minister, prime minister goes to the different country, there will be so many people to welcome him, isn't it? So when a common person goes, no one is there. So now this person who has done Akara Upasana, when he dies, the Rigveda, presiding deity of the Rigveda, will be waiting for him to lead. Upanayante. They lead or they take care of him. Where? Tam Manushya So he will be taken care. He will be brought. He will be brought back to this human. He will be brought back to the earth. And what type of human birth he gets? Tatra Sampannaha. He has got he is endowed with full of wealth. What type of wealth? It is a spiritual wealth. Tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya. He has been brought back to this earth. He is getting human birth and he is also endued with wealth. He is not a beggar. He is a very rich person. So he is a rich person. The Upanishad is not speaking of materialistic benefits, materialistic rich. You may be born as a son of millionaire, or he or she may be born as a son of daughter of millionaire. They are not speaking about it. They are speaking of the spiritual wealth. And you will be born in such a family where it is very conducive and is also endued with three qualities, very important qualities. What is that? Tapasa, one who has got self-control. Tapasa means one who has self-control, including the control on the sense organs and control on the mind. One who is interested in the austere life. One who is interested in simple life. One who is interested in higher thinking. So all these things comes under tapasa. So one who is God-centered life, or one who wants more and more to lead the highest life, etc. Brahmacharyena, he also wants to maintain purity always. Purity in his body and purity in his mind, purity in his thoughts. So all the ethics and morality can be brought into this brahmacharyena. He is interested in leading the pure life, which includes ethical and moral. So without ethics and morality, no spiritual life can sustain. Ethics and morality is very important even for the civilized society. And not only that, for the spiritual life also, it is very important. Without ethics and morality, no spiritual life can be built upon. And brahmacharyana means purity, and also brahmacharyana also includes one who is interested in realization of self. Brahmani charati iti brahmacharya. One who is interested in following or in experiencing the Brahman or the highest truth. Shraddhaya, and not casual approach, with firm, with very concentrated approach. One who is serious in his approach with regarding all these things. And Shraddhaya means it is a faith or belief practiced with or packed with the, what you say, action. I believe that I am the self, but my action is not reflecting it. No, my faith and belief packed with the action, then only it is called Shraddha. So Shraddhaya, Tapasa, Brahmacharyana. These are the three spiritual wells he will be endowed with. Now, if you remember the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 41, 42, 43 slokas and all, they tell. So a person who is practicing spiritual discipline, when he dies, what happens? He will be born in the yogi family, yogic natured family, or in the spiritual natured family. He may have physical, materialistic wealth or not, but spiritual wealth will be there. All these things we can see in the Bhagavad Gita also. Okay, so now from these two, three things we can see. From Akara Pradhana Upasana, you will get human birth and you will get spiritual wealth or spiritual conducive family, where the spiritual practice becomes much easy from our childhood. These are the two things Phala has been given by this Akara Pradhana Upasana. Now, it also corollary things which we can say. So Upanishad or Hinduism and Buddhism, Jainism, we all believe in rebirth. So this is not my first birth, and this may not be my last birth until otherwise I experience the God or I experience the Brahman. So rebirth is there, one thing. And second thing is, in the Greek philosophy, like Aristotle and Stoic philosophy, they say that we are born with tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means empty slate. So when we take birth, our mind is empty, like a clean slate. Now, our Vedanta or Upanishads or Hindu philosophy doesn't accept it. It rejects it. Rejects it. We are not born with the blank mind, like a blank slate. We are born with our own samskaras, impressions. Someone is good, someone is bad. Someone is interested in higher things. Someone is interested in lower things or bad things. Why? Now, very few we are interested in Vedanta. Why? Because of our previous samskaras, previous karma impressions. That immediately many people boils out that karma siddhanta, karma theory as the fatalistic theory. I mean, in Hindi, if you say, Kya karna hai mera kapal aisa likh diya Brahmdev. No, Brahma has not written anything on our forehead. It is not a fatalistic theory, karma siddhanta. It is the science of infinite possibilities. If I do good, I will be happy and I will get better things. If I do bad, temporarily I may be happy, but in due course of time, I have to suffer. So my suffering and my experiencing the joy, both are in my hands. That's what Karma Siddhanta says, the science of infinite possibilities. If I want to progress in my life, spiritual life, then I have to build my life, build my mind, or probably I have to perform actions in such a manner, in such style. All these things can be understood, can be deduced from this third mantra. So now we'll go to the fourth mantra. In the fourth mantra, Ukara Pradhana Upasana has been described, has been explained. Means U or you, Ukara Pradhana. By chanting Okara, one can chant just Ukara only, Oo, like that. By chanting Omkara, Ukara has been given stress. So that's what Ukara Pradhana Upasana. अथ यदि विमात्रेण मनसि संपद्यते सह अंतरिक्षं यजुर्भिः उन्नीयते सोमलोकं सह सोमलोकं विभूतिम् अनुभूय पुनरावर्तते अथ now again means what? Again we are discussing the this Omkara Upasana. Yadi, if anyone if anyone who is interested in chanting or in meditating on the Omkara, Dvimatrena. Dvimatrena means on the second letter, not on two letters. Dvimatrena here means on the second letter. So which is the second letter? Akara, Ukara, Makara. We can very well understand the second letter is what? Ukara. On the alphabet U. Sampadyate manasi means one who is meditating in the mind on the Dvimatra, on the Ukara. So sampadyate, one who is unified, one whose mind is concentrated on the Ukara by constant meditation. Where? In the mind. And also it includes Hiranyagarbha Tattva. The first Akara represents Virat Tattva and Ukara represents Hiranyagarbha Tattva. Hiranyagarbha Tattva means what? It is the subtle cosmic principle. There are individual minds. Every one of us, we have got minds. Now, the sum and total of all these minds, or the sum and total of all the subtle bodies, is put together, is called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha Tattva, the cosmic principle. The cosmic subtle principle represents Hiranyagarbha Tattva, and that is been represented as by the symbolic representation by Ukara. One who meditates constantly on this Ukara, Manasi Sampadyate, Saha, such an aspirant, Antariksham, Unniyate. So that aspirant, one who does Ukara Upasana, one who has identified himself with Hiranyagarbha Tattva, Unniyate, he's been lifted, he's been carried over. Okay, his mind is lifted, he is carried over. By whom? Or to where? Yajubihi. He's been carried over by, he's been led, he's been taken care of by the presiding deity of the Yajurveda or Yajur mantras. If you see in the earlier sloka, earlier mantra, it was by Rigveda mantra, Rigveda presiding deity. In this particular thing, in the Ukara Upasana, he has been taken care by, he has been led by the Yajurveda mantra. Okay. Now he is taken to where? Antariksham. Antariksham means it is the intermediary space between the earth and also and the heaven. So there's an intermediary space between the heaven and earth, and that is called Somaloka. It is the lunar sphere. Lunar sphere. Whoever has attended this recent our Vedanta retreat, if you remember, in the Theta meditation, I was discussing about lunar sphere, solar sphere, star sphere, and all. So this is what lunar sphere. So here lunar sphere, where it is presided by the moon. So the Ukara Upasana Sadhaka, the aspirant who does Ukara Upasana, he is taken care by, he is led by the presiding deity of the Yajurveda mantra, and he is taken to the Antariksha, that is to the lunar sphere, and he will enjoy there. For example, you are taken to the third 3-star hotel or 5-star hotel, for example. 5-star hotel, you are taken care. A 5-star hotel has got its own amenities. So many comforts you have got. So you can enjoy that comforts in the 5-star hotel. So similarly, the aspirant has gone to that Antariksha Loka and is enjoying that his fruits of action. After some time, what happens? Saha, that same aspirant, Anubhuya Vibhutim. He goes to that Somaloka, the intermediary space, and he enjoys all the facilities and all the comforts of that Somaloka. Means the world lunar sphere, I mean. After enjoying, what happens? Avartate punaha. You had a cash of 10,000 euros, you went to 5-star hotel and you were enjoying. Once your bank balance is done, nil, or your time is done, then what happens? You have to exit the 5-star hotel. You have to come out from the 5-star hotel. You have to check out from the 5-star hotel. So similarly, here once your karma phala has been enjoyed, experienced, and if it is over, avartate punaha. You have to turn around, means you have to come back and you have to take birth in this mundane existence or in this world or in this earth as a human being. But again, he will come back as human being and will be also taken birth in the family where there is a spiritual conducive, which is also included here, but it is not mentioned in the shloka here. Now, Now he will be going to the five-star hotel like Somaloka and you will enjoy all the happiness. That's fine. But after finishing that, again you have to come back. Now the intelligent person will think, then is there any way out? Where can I get out from all this turning back, going there, enjoying and coming back, and again starting, or again, what to say, accumulating all these good actions, results, punya, and again enjoying and again coming back. Is there any way out where I can stop this going and coming? If you think, then the Upanishad says, yes, that is only by knowing oneself, who am I? So the importance of Advaita Vedanta, the importance of spiritual knowledge, the importance of seeking the self-knowledge comes into picture here. But if someone says, oh, that is fine, but I'm interested in going the above worlds and I'm interested in going to Swarga, different lokas, and I'm interested in enjoying all these, what do you say, bhogas, in enjoyments, if you say, then Upanishad is giving an option for us. Now, if someone wants that I don't want any of them, I want self-knowledge, I want emancipation, if you say, then that has been told in the fifth mantra. We shall try to see. Yaha punaha etam trimatrena omiti tenaiva aksharena param purusham abidhyayita saha tejasi surya sampannaha yatha पादोदः त्वचा विनिर्मुच्यत एवं हवै स पाप्मान विनिर्मुक्तः स समभिर् समाभिः उन्नीयते ब्रह्मलोकं स एतस्मात् जीवगणात् परात्परं पुरीशयं पुरुषं ईक्षते तदेतौ श्लोकौ भवतः. Interestingly, our Rigveda mantras are mantras in the poetic style. This particular one, this Prashnopanishad, is in the prose style. That's why, like, we have to break the sentence words, and for our understanding sake, we have to read like a prose actually. Okay. Now, punaha, again. So after discussing the akara pradhana upasana and ukara pradhana upasana, again we are going to discuss. Now immediately our logic will say, oh, that means makara pradhana upasana. We may think that actually. But here makara pradhana upasana is not telling here. He is only straight away telling samasti upasana, onkara upasana in its entirety. Now, according to the commentators, this particular mantra, fifth mantra, is very important, is the central of the fifth chapter. Punaha, again, yaha abhidhyayita, one who is interested in meditation, one who meditates, okay, what happens? On what is meditating? Yetam, yetam means on this. On this means what? On the Onkara. One who is meditating on the Onkara. Now, if you see Akara as a Virat Purusha, Ukara as Hiranyagarbha, okay, this Onkara as what? We have to meditate Onkara as what? If you say Param Purusham, Parabrahman, or the Ishvara, or the Karanam Brahma, or Antaryami, all are similar words. Here they are using the Param Purusham actually. So this Omkara is the symbol representing the Param Purusham, the Supreme Self, or the Ishvara, or the Antaryami, one who is residing in every being as the central core of that personality. That is what the Antaryami. So one who is trying to meditate on the Omkara as the symbolic representation of the Ishvara. Now, again, if you have followed my lecture on the Sunday, I think 15 days before, I was discussing about the japa. There in the upasana, I was telling 3 parts are very important in our meditation. One is we have to prepare our mind, of course, no doubt. That is with the prayers, we have to prepare our mind. First is that. And the second is mantra, the repetition of the mantra with concentration and all that. And the third is bhava. Bhava is very important for our meditation. If you want to increase our quality of the meditation, we have to increase the quality of our bhava also. Bhava has got 2 meanings actually. One is bhava, means general meaning of the bhava is what? Mood actually. So I have to build up my mood for meditation. To build up that mood only we do prayers. Oh God, let everyone be happy. My parents be happy, our children, friends, and all. Let me be happy, or let me be healthy, wealthy, and all. So praying for everyone, including oneself and relatives, and trying to feel that I am here, I am in the presence of the Lord, and trying to feel the presence of the Lord in me, or trying to pray for the seeking the blessings from the Lord, seeking the blessings from the Gurudev, and doing some mental worship. All these things is helping us to create the bhava, is helping to create the mood for our upasana. Okay. And the one more is bhava is what? The relationship. For an example, I am trying to meditate on the Sri Ramakrishna as my chosen deity. Okay. Now I am trying to meditate on the Sri Ramakrishna, which is an object of meditation, and I am the meditator. Okay. What is the relationship between me and him? I can take that master is a master and I am the servant. Dasya Bhava, the relationship between Hanuman and Rama, which we can remember. Or we can think Sri Ramakrishna as my friend, like Krishna and Kuchela, or like Mother Yashoda. I am the mother or father, God is my son. One can do that. So there are different bhavas, which includes relationship. So this relationship with this bhava should be done consciously so that our quality of meditation becomes better. Or Sri Ramakrishna is the God incarnate, is an incarnation, is the sum and total of all this creation, is the source of creation, is the Ishvara. For an example, if you say in the Brahmarupa Madhi Madhya, which is written by Vrijananji, so that's a beautiful, what do you say, hymn one can meditate on. Brahma Rupa Madhi Madhya Sarva Bhasaka. So Brahma is the Brahman, which is Adi and Madhya and Antya. So at the beginning and the middle and the end, if you see, everything is what Brahman alone. And that Brahman is what Sri Ramakrishna. So, like this, we can remember our object of meditation. Who is he? What is he? And like Ishvara is the source of creation, is the Brahman, is the Parabrahma. So, this is what we mean. So, thinking that object of meditation with all these bhavas, with all these consciously, and when we can try to meditate, our quality of meditation becomes better. So, here they are giving Param Brahma. So the upasaka, the aspirant is trying to meditate, trying to do upasana, Omkara upasana as what? Omkara is the symbolic representation of the Parabrahma, as the symbolic representation of Ishvara, or the symbolic representation of Antaryami, or Karanam Brahma. Karanam Brahma or Parabrahma has been used in the Prashna Upanishad for Omkara. Omkara is the primordial sound. In the Spotana Vada and in the Nadabindu Upanishad, when you go deeply about this, how the whole world has been, the God has been represented by this Omkara as the primordial sound, which is very interesting. Okay, so he is meditating on the Omkara by uttering and by meditating as what? Omkara is the symbolic representation of the Parabrahma, Supreme Self, or the Ishvara. Ishvara means, from the Vedanta Sara language, Sopadika Chaitanya. Consciousness which is limited by his upadhi called Maya. So Brahman plus Maya is what Ishvara. So that is what we mean Ishvara here. And this Ishvara includes other two aspects of the reality. What is that? Other two, Virat and Hiranyagarbha, which we had seen in the earlier mantras. This Ishvara includes these two also. Okay. Omiti yetena eva aksharena trimatrena omiti yetena eva aksharena. So with the help of this syllable om, which is immutable or imperishable in nature, this omkara is what akshara. Kshara means kshaya, akshara means what? Mutable. Akshara means one is indestructible, immutable. So this Omkara is what Akshara means, indestructible, which is represented, symbolic representation of that Ishvara. So now you see, Om can be seen from different angles. Om as divine sound. We all know that just you keep chanting Omkara like Om, like 7 or 9 or 11 or 15, 20 times yourself, you will start understanding, you'll be able to experience the different calmness or the different mindset by chanting Omkara. We ourselves, without keep thinking about God or spirituality or anything, just even one chanting Omkara alone will bring a very positive emotions, positive feelings, positive vibrations in our body and mind internally and also as well as externally also. By chanting Omkara in our room continuously, if you see, our room also will be covered with good tanmatras, good spiritual vibes that can be experimented. Okay, so Om is a divine sound. Okay, and Om is a God's name. Rama, Krishna, Ishvara, Durga, Kali, Ramakrishna, whatever you say, like that. Om is also a divine name, or it is a divine name for the God or for Ishvara. Okay. And this Om is also representing the Ishvara, imperishable, who is the source of creation, who is the source of every being, who is the source of the existence, consciousness, bliss also. So these are the different, what do you say, facets of the Omkara. So one who is meditating on the Omkara, an aspirant, is aware of all these things. So when he takes Omkara as a chanting, he will not take casually, he will be very serious in his approach. Serious means he will be very, it is not a casual approach. So when we start doing, when we take such type of approach in our upasana, our quality of meditation becomes better. Then what happens? The meditation becomes better, concentration becomes better, but with such type of constant meditation, one can experience our object of meditation. For example, you are meditating on the Ishvara, Shiva, for example, Shiva becomes real. You can feel the Shiva in your heart and as well as in every walk of life. If you are trying to meditate on Krishna, you will be able to experience the Krishna in your heart and in your every walk of life. There are so many instances, so many stories in the devotee's life, either in the monks or the devotee's life, where they experience the God in every walk of life. For example, Sri Ramakrishna's father, Kshudiram, when he used to go to pluck flowers for the worship, Divine Mother, in the form of small girl, she used to come and she used to help Kshudiram to pluck flowers. Imagine how blessed he is. When Kshudiram used to go to pluck flowers, hibiscus flowers, or when the flower, like hibiscus plant, if it is a tall, and when he is not able to get the flower because of tall, and she used to bend, it seems. She used to bend that particular branch, and Kshudiram used to pluck the flower, it seems. How beautiful it is. So like that, Gopalayarma, if you can remember, one is the devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, and she used to experience the little Krishna. And she used to bathe him, she used to feed him, and she used to get unnecessary, sometimes perturbed by Krishna's all mischievous things. Sometimes she used to cajole him, she used to scold, even once or twice she bet him, Krishna, because of his mischievous nature. We all know the story of Gopalayarma, whoever has read. Means any God can be experienced even now. It is not simply imagination, it is the fact. For that, Upanishad is giving is Omkara as the Adhara, as an Upadhi, as a symbol. By that, one can reach the God, one can experience the God, or one can experience the Supreme Self. Now, Trimatrena. Now, because Trimatrena, because here earlier it is Ekamatra, either Akara or Ukara only. Here Trimatrena means it is associated with all the three letters. The knowledge associated with all the three letters means knowledge associated with the Omkara, which is serving as a symbol for the Parabrahma or for the Ishvara. Okay. Now, okay, one who is meditating on the Omkara as a divine sound, as the supreme symbol of the Lord, Supreme Lord or Parabrahma and all fine, by meditating, one whose mind is completely fixed in that, one who is experiencing that Omkara, means one whose mind's frequency has traveled to, has raised to that Omkara frequency, for him, what happens? Tejasi Surya Sampannaha. Sampannaha means absorbed, Tejasi Surya. One who is absorbed in that Ishvara, one who is absorbed in the sun. Now, Ishvara is also used here as a Surya. One who is absorbed in that Surya, what happens? he will go to Brahmaloka after his death, or Satyaloka in the Puranic language, or in the Puranic language, it is called Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. In the Prashna Upanishad, they are using the word Suryaloka. Suryaloka, solar sphere. So he goes to solar sphere after his death. Okay, he goes. Now, if you remember in the earlier mantra, he will go to Chandraloka, lunar sphere, and he comes back. Now, this person, one who goes to solar sphere, Suryaloka, Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, he will never turn back, he will never return. So he attains Krama Mukti. He is free from all the impurities, he is free from all the sin, and when he is dead, he is taken care by the presiding deity of Samaveda, and his subtle body goes to the Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Now imagine very clearly, or kindly remember, self doesn't go anywhere, self doesn't travel, only his or her subtle body travels. So when by doing Omkara Upasana, I can attain Brahmaloka means my subtle body goes to Brahmaloka as a self doesn't go to Brahmaloka. That is, it should be very clear. Okay, when I go to Brahmaloka, what happens? After some time, by meditating on that Brahman or whatever, or hearing on that Brahman, in no time, he or she gets liberated. Liberated means what? That Sukshma Sharira, subtle body gets disintegrated. So there is no reflecting medium. So there is no reflection. So there is no reflective consciousness also. So there is only original consciousness and consciousness alone. For example, there's a mirror in front of me and I am seeing my reflection is there. If the mirror is broken, that means there is no reflection. So original consciousness and there's a reflecting medium. That's why reflected consciousness is there. That's where this experience of the duality. When there is no mind, no experience of duality, and no more question of birth and death. So when I go to Brahmaloka, he or she goes to Brahmaloka means subtle body goes to Brahmaloka, not the self. And when I get mukti means not I get mukti, the subtle body gets disintegrated. So the bandha and moksha, the bondage and liberation is both for mind, for subtle body, not for the self. According to Advaita Vedanta, you have to be clear. Okay. And they are also telling very clearly, okay, if you want to get to Krama Mukti or if you want to get Brahmagdana, before that, one has to get purified clearly. Again, ethics, morality, and purity of the mind comes into picture. That has been told very clearly in the Upanishad also. And they give us a beautiful example of the snake. As we all know that snake after 12 years, what does the snake do? Snake leaves its outer skin. Snake loses its outer skin without any much problem, without any pain, isn't it? For example, eagle or vulture also leaves for after few years the beak actually, because when the beak becomes old, it will not be able to catch the prey. As a result, it goes to the top of the mountain and it hits hard on the stone and it breaks its beak actually, which is very painful in nature. But it does it because for its survival actually. It endures the pain and it tries to break the beak, and in few days again the new beak it comes, grows, then it will be able to catch as the prey and it will eat, which is painful in nature. But as per our understanding, the snake which will loses its the old skin, which is not painful in nature. That's why that example is been taken by the Rishi here. Saha Sampanna, one who is absorbed in that Omkara meditation. Okay. And what does he get? Yatha Padodaraha, just as in the case of snake, Vinirmuchyate tvacha. Tvacha means skin. Vinirmuchyate. Just like the skin leaves that old skin, the snake leaves the old skin. So similarly, evam havai, exactly in that way, in that fashion, Vinirmuktaha papmana, one who is freed from all type of impurities, one who is free from all types of sins. So purity of mind is the must, is the necessary for realization. Oh, I am spiritual in nature. I am the self. I am the Vedantin. I don't bother about ethics. I don't bother about morality. I don't bother about wrong thoughts because I am not the thought. I am not the mind. I may say, but it is not possible. Without the purity of mind, I cannot get the self-knowledge. So that's why Virmuktaha Papmana, one who is freed from the sin. So freed from the sin is a condition for attaining, and one who has attained this condition, for him krama mukti is possible. Okay. Saha unniyate. He has been led, he has been taken care, he has been lifted up. Samabihi. Samabihi means the presiding deity of the Samaveda. Where he's taking care, where he's taken, he's led for where. I was giving an example of 5-star hotel in the earlier mantra. Now in this mantra I can tell 2 more stars we can increase. He will be taken to the 7-star hotel. It means he will be taken to the Brahmalokam. Okay. So Brahmaloka, to the world of Brahma. Etasmat Jivaganat. Jiva means Jivagana. This in the Brahmaloka, that Ishvara is what Jivagana is, the totality of all the creatures, is the sum total of all the causal bodies, is the sum total of all the individual consciousness, you can say. That is what Jivagana, Jivagana, sum and total of all the creatures. And he will be going to that loka. Saha, the enlightened man, Purusham Purishayam. He enters into that Purusha. Purusha means, we all know that. Purishayam means one who has entered into all the bodies. Purisha means one who is staying in all the individual bodies. He is called Purisha. So Purisham, so he attains the Parabrahma basically. And Bhavataha etau shlokau. And he will not come back. And that same idea has been explained confirmed by these 2 verses from the 2 Rigvedic mantras. Let me see, or let me explain you. The Pipila is going to tell the 2 mantras. Now you see, interestingly, Prashna Upanishad is part of the Atharva Upanishad, Atharva Veda, and they are giving the reference to the Rigveda mantras. Why? Rigveda mantras are the oldest scripture and that is the original. Afterwards, other Vedas have come. That's why they are giving the reference of the original text called Rigveda mantras. So here they are telling very clearly, one who does Omkara Upasana, he goes to Brahmaloka and he will never turn back and he will get the Krama Mukti. Now, by doing the Atma Vichara, one who gets one who gets four prerequisites, one who does Shravana Manana Nidhyasana, he gets Jivan Mukti, one who gets liberated while living. But from this Omkara Upasana, he will get Krama Mukti, and his subtle body will go to Brahmaloka or Suryaloka in this Prashna Upanishad case. Then there he will stay. After some time, he will get ultimate liberation. Whether he gets means what? His subtle body gets, not the self. Now, why should we do Omkara Upasana? How should we do Omkara Upasana? Now, I have told a few steps actually. So these are quite interesting for us. So probably any Upasana we may be doing, not necessarily we should go to Omkara Upasana. We may be doing our different Upasanas already. That should be taken serious. That should not be taken lightly, should be taken serious, and we should try to develop the quality and quantity of that Upasana. And if we progress, then we'll be able to enjoy peace and we will be able to experience the Lord, or we'll be able to experience the God, or we'll be able to experience that object of meditation. So that is what the goal of every Upasana. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu. Yeah. If anyone of you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Swami, I have one question.
Yes.
So if you said if you're meditating on Omkara, is there any object we also meditate, or what is the object then when?
Okay. Now you are asking, like, when I'm doing a Omkara meditation, what should be our object of meditation?
Yes.
Now, exactly from Upanishadic point, if you ask me, now they are telling Omkara, meditation on the Omkara, what are the steps to be taken, intermediary steps, they have not discussed, or they have not, listed out in the Upanishad. Probably, when I think about this, why, probably that was very prevalent in those days, or even everyone knew in those days, probably. I mean, the people who are serious in spiritual life, that is the reason they didn't discuss. or they didn't mention in the mantras, or probably it was so sacred, they didn't want to give all the details, they didn't tell it. Probably these are the two reasons. Yeah. But unfortunately, the intermediary steps are missing in the Upanishad, strictly speaking. Now, in the given details, how one can do this Omkara Upasana? Okay. Now, one can chant Omkara, taking a deep breath and chanting Omkara as long as possible. Okay. While chanting the Omkara, one can concentrate his mind on the Omkara sound alone. I'm not thinking of any form of God. I'm not thinking on any like Ishvara's form like Rama or Krishna or Jesus or Paigambara, not Paigambar, I mean Mahavira or Buddha or anyone. Any form of God I'm not thinking. I may not be interested. So I'm just trying to concentrate on the sound of the Omkara and I'm trying to meditate by chanting. This is one step, one possibility. But at the same time, in our mind, consciously, we should encourage our thought, we should encourage our mind to think that this Omkara is not just like a sound. For example, blah, 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 we can say. Now I can try to meditate. This is what this there's a blah meditation also. Nowadays, there are a lot of meditation techniques like this. So I'm trying to say blah and I'm trying to meditate on that sound. I may develop concentration, no doubt, but I cannot guarantee that concentration cannot give you mukti. This blah meditation can give you concentration, but not the mukti. Okay. As a result, I am trying to chant Omkara rhythmically and I am trying to concentrate my mind on the sound alone. Okay. Then I should always know that this Omkara is the symbolic representation of the Lord or of the Ishvara. Ishvara may not be any form. It's the sum and total of all creation. Is the source of creation, for example, or is the God by, or is the cosmic power by which the entire world has been created, or the entire world has been manifested. So, is the source of creation, for example, atom. The whole world is made up of atoms, isn't it? We all know that. So that the source of atoms or the source of electrons, photons, neutrons, even whatever you take, energy, is that Ishvara, and that is what that Omkara. So that Omkara is nothing but the symbolic representation of the cosmic energy or cosmic source of energy. So with type of the positive thoughts, with type of this bhava mood, one can try to meditate on the Omkara. That's what we can get, or at least I got from the this particular sloka. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. If you said before in the beginning, it said a u that's the sound of Omkara. But when we chant, we say Om, not Am. Why is that correct? Shouldn't we is the pronunciation is it?
Now this a and vu, when it gets joined, there is sandhi. Sandhi means it is a joining. When it joins, it becomes o. A and vu, when it gets joined, clubbed, it becomes o. And that's why a plus u becomes o, or that ma, or of ma. That's how it is called omkara, om. Om. So ma you can see clearly. A and vu, instead of that o we are chanting. Why? Because there is a rule when akara and ukara joins, it becomes okara. That's why it becomes omkara. But when you split it, when you split that joint, then it is akara, ukara, makara. Yeah.
So when you do it in parts on akara, ukara, makara, then
Yes.
is it a? But when you do it in all together, is it omkara?
You are right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Maharajji, why is there this specific order of a, u, and ma? Why not interchange? Like,
Yes. That's a good question. Now, I think, though I have not read in detail or in depth, in Aitariya Brahmana, not in Aitariya Upanishad, I'm saying, in Aitariya Brahmana, there are a lot of discussions about this. And I think, for an example, now you take an akara itself. I think in the Aitariya Brahmana, while discussing of akara, there is a lot of analysis has been given, explanation has been given. They say akara is the primordial sound. And also, if you see interestingly, when you chant akara, it comes from nabi actually. Nabi, it is the source of the sound. Actually, nabi it comes. Okay. So this akara includes all the alphabets. And akara includes all the manifestations. And so there are so much discussions and analysis has been given just for an akara only. Just to give one example. One thing. And second thing, why only akara, why not ukara? You can say always, no doubt. But probably akara, ukara, makara is what the thing. Now, a and vu has been joining okara, I told you. Now, if you are not interested in akara, if you are interested only in ukara, but that what you say, that freedom is being given. Then say, yes, you can do that ukara upasana only you can do, Hiranyagarbha upasana. From that you will get Chandraloka or Somaloka. You will go there, you will enjoy 5-star hotel facilities and you will come back. You will come back. So that either individually or put together upasana has been, that freedom has been given for the aspirants. Now, what you want, you can select. What do I want, I can select. Like someone I may be interested, oh, I'm not bothered about anything. I would like to have a human birth and the spiritual conducive thing is been good in the Akara Upasana. So that is enough. I mean, that I like it. There may not be any reason I like it. Okay, well, then someone say, yes, that is true, but let me go and enjoy for some time at least. Then they say, okay, Ukara Upasana is okay. Then go to after your Upasana, one who gets established. Now we should understand, by doing Upasana alone, we don't get the result. One who get established in this Upasana, then only will get the results. So one whose mind is getting firmly established in the Ukara Upasana, then such a person, when he dies, Yajurveda presiding deity will be taken. Here, the deity will take us, our subtle body, to the, what you say, to the Somaloka, and we will stay there, and our subtle body enjoys. There is no suffering, only enjoyment. And after finishing our karma phala, then again we will be brought back to this mundane existence or this human earth, of course, with all the good family, spiritual conducive family, spiritual wealth, and all these things. And then our spiritual journey continues. Now, who doesn't want all these things? Let me go once for all, let me not come back and start this kindergarten, PKG, LKG, and all. If you say, then they say, do Omkara Upasana. Yeah. Okay, good night, divine dreams.